Memory is a learning that has persisted over time through the encoding, storage, and retrieval of information. Evidence of memory may be recalling information, recognizing it, or relearning it more easily on a later attempt. Recalling memory is when someone reaches back into their mind and brings up information just as someone would do during a fill-in-the-blank test. Recognition is more like a multiple-choice test. A person only needs to identify old information when presented with it. Relearning is like refreshing or reinforcing old information, such as when studying for a final exam, you relearn things you have forgotten more easily than you did when you first learned them. In the late 1960s, American psychologists Richard Atkinson and Richard Schifrin studied the process of memory and broke it down into 3 stages. First, memory is encoded into the brain, then stored for future use, and eventually retrieved. We are not conscious of every single thing that we take in, but our working memory often transfers information that we are not aware of into long-term memory. This is called implicit memory. This form of memory does not require a person to actively concentrate on something to remember it. Explicit memory is when we store memory consciously and actively. We use this form of memory when we study for a test. This is how we capture facts and knowledge that we think we are going to need during an exam. Mnemonics help with memorization. An example would be PEMDAS, which we've all learned in math class. Mnemonics help by organizing items into familiar manageable units in a process called chunking. It may be difficult for someone to remember in which order to calculate when there are 2 or more operations in a single expression, but using PEMDAS helps people remember the order. Short-term memory capacity is about 7 items, but this information disappears very quickly without rehearsal. Our working memory capacity for active processing varies depending on age, intelligence level, and other factors. There are different types of long-term memory. Procedural memory refers to how we remember to do things like riding a bike or reading. It's difficult to learn at first, but eventually you can do it without even thinking about it. Automatic processing is something that we have already learned and know the outcome of, like not being distracted while driving because this can lead to a car crash. This type of learning will happen automatically.